Good evening, everyone. I'm Karina Marlow, and I'm a first-year Macquarie law student. I'm studying a combined media and law degree, and it's so far been a great help in channeling my love of reading and talking into something productive. I grew up in Seven Hills in Western Sydney and graduated last year from Model Farms High School. To be honest, I was never one of those kids who knew exactly what they wanted to be when they were at school. I loved most subjects, but when confronted with the decision of Year 10 work experience, followed my love of English and debating, and in turn did a solicitor's firm. At the time, I wasn't really sure exactly what a lawyer did, but I enjoyed watching the arguments in court cases, if not the secretarial work that went with it. I met a young intern at the firm who was studying a media law degree and who sparked the idea for my current study, as well as my interest in the possibility of undertaking student exchange. However, I was still unsure, and over the next 2 years attended countless open days, law info nights, spoke to people who had studied law, and researched different universities to make my final decision. My choice to attend Macquarie was influenced by a few things. I had spoken to students who were studying at the university, and their feedback was largely positive and enthusiastic. I was interested in study exchange and had heard that Macquarie had a great travel grant program, as well as a variety of countries to study in. I looked at all the information booklets and attended all the information evenings. But the final influence, after all my research, debating and indecision, was the helpfulness and hospitality that I was shown by both students and staff on the information day just a few days prior to UAC applications. I found that talking to real students instead of just reading the mountains of booklets I had accumulated really made a difference in my perspective on university study. So I'd like to encourage you to also take advantage of those opportunities.
Thanks, Karina. My name is Rachel Worlsey, first-year student studying law and arts, majoring in media, culture and communication. So today I would just like to extend on what Karina has mentioned, share with you my perspective on law school, discuss my experiences so far, and where I feel my future lies in the next 5 years. 12 months ago, like Karina, I had really no idea what I wanted to do. I had a smattering of interests, but no particular degree attracted me. Since Year 10, I had been attending open days, but I confessed that the only department I hadn't actually visited was law. So you might ask, how on earth did I parachute myself into this crazy world of law? To cut a very, very long story short, it came down to a phone call. But lawyers and judges love their reasoning, even to the point of pages and pages of the excitable strands of thought. However, I promise I will be brief. I'll start with Macquarie University. I felt I would be home here. I love the new library's cutting-edge learning space and resource collection areas, the positivity of the people I met during my forays on campus, and the tantalizing thought of many extracurricular activities to participate in, such as the Global Leadership Program. When my thoughts turned towards law as 2011 ended, I did not hesitate to visit the law department on Information Day, where I was informed about the many strengths of Macquarie Law School. Firstly, the focus on interdisciplinarity, where disciplines like sociology and psychology are integrated into the learning of the law. Secondly, the reputation of Macquarie Law School, with its experienced lecturers and alumni that have gone on to establish illustrious careers. Thirdly, the wealth of opportunities offered, whether they were volunteering or job opportunities, seminars, or social events like the Law Review. But what sealed my interest was the follow-up phone call after the first round of UAC offers was released. The phone call emphasized the hospitality and inclusivity of Macquarie University that I had heard in theory and which manifested in reality. This was the golden opportunity to talk to a former student about all the unanswered questions I had about law in Macquarie, even after Info Day, for doubts can arise during that period between the closure of preferences and the releasing of offers. I felt that I was taking full control of the offer I received. After all, I am just one of many enrolling in law. I have different needs and expectations compared to the next student. Having these personally addressed at a critical stage in time was a personal touch that led me to strongly believe Macquarie Law School values its future students. That phone call, in conjunction with speaking with students and the strengths that Macquarie Law School demonstrated, became the tipping points for me to study law and arts at Macquarie University. Tonight I'm proud to say that former student is now my criminal law tutor, a mentor, and a friend.
I personally found the transition from high school to university reasonably enjoyable, if challenging at times. I found the biggest challenge was getting used to the environment of university. I was not in classes with anyone I knew, and I sometimes felt a bit daunting being one person in a lecture of hundreds. I had hours during the day with no classes at all, but was soon given enough readings and essays to replace the joy of procrastination. I really enjoyed tutorials, which is similar to school class in size, and which made it easier to make friends, ask questions, and seek help with assignments. In the first few weeks, we were also given advice from student mentors who helped us with everything from buying bus passes to undertaking research at the library. My initial anxieties about not having done legal studies in the HSC was quashed by our first legal subject, Foundations of Law. I got plenty of help and feedback from my tutor and learned about the legal system from the basic skills lawyers use every day to guest lectures on topics including international and Indigenous law. I also found the ability to play back lectures and participate in group discussion forums online, a great tool to pick up anything I might have missed. As part of the course, we were given the opportunity to apply our legal skills as part of a group research project. I chose the human rights group, and we focused on the contemporary issue of homosexual marriage in Australia in light of recent government and social debates. We were challenged to not only come up with legal issues and research them, but to suggest possible areas for reforming the law or altering social policy and attitudes.
So just my experience of that as well, because my topic was actually medical ethics, and the scenario focused on whether children should be allowed to consent to cosmetic surgery in the face of bullying from other children. So there were legal issues, but there are also social and moral issues at stake as well. Should the law prize the rights of the child in demanding invasive surgery to correct or minimise a social problem? What constitutes cosmetic surgery? How do we know if a child has the mental capacity to consent to such surgery? Tonight we heard about interdisciplinarity, and this is it in action. We apply the skills of sociology, philosophy, and psychology, and many other disciplines, into the intricacy of law reform and the understanding of the law. Law does not exist in a vacuum, and this is what we learned straight off the bat in first year. I walked away from this exercise with a broader understanding of the role law plays in the sensitive issues that often get raised within society. Even better, if this is what I'm given in first year, I can only imagine what's in store for me for the rest of my degree. I would also like to add that joining Macquarie Law School doesn't end at just turning up for lectures and tutorials, although it will be just really easy if it was. It's the gateway to other fun activities on the site, like mooting competitions and regular legal talks held by the Centre for Legal Governance, which are accessible, relevant, and raise provocative questions about developing areas of law. It helped me secure a volunteering position at New South Wales Parliament House, so that I was applying my skills in the political scene, where so much of our law is debated on today. It also helped me secure an ongoing internship with Justice Action, a prisoners' rights group often dealing with criminal law. If you thought figuring out wide-ranging solutions from a legal scenario was a fun university project, Justice Action makes all these hypotheses very real and extremely important for all the stakeholders that are affected in university. I certainly would not have been encouraged to seek these opportunities if it hadn't been for Macquarie Law School's emphasis on making the law relevant, engaging, and an important tool for the achievement of justice within our society. I found that it is true that you get what you put in, but Macquarie Law School gives you a strong base to get the most out of your degree, and I am proud to stand here to affirm that. So looking forward, I hope to extend my fledgling legal skills into not just the compulsory areas of law, but into the electives concerning international human rights law and maybe environmental law. Of course, my interests may vary over the years, but this means I'm only open to new experiences. Keeping an open and curious mind is a basic tenet of education, and one that is strongly fostered in the collegiate atmosphere that Macquarie University promotes. In the future, I would love to work in human rights organisations as a legal or media advisor, or perhaps in legal publishing or academia, indulging my love for writing.
Both of our decisions to come to Macquarie weren't exactly simple ones, but it's a decision that both of us are glad we have made. I'm looking forward to learning more about specific areas of law as well, including criminal law, human rights law, and international law, which is a prerequisite at Macquarie. After I finish, I'd like to work perhaps with a human rights organisation or the ABC, and maybe even be a barrister or a university lecturer one day. We'd both like to wish you the best of luck with your university decisions and hope that you'll consider Macquarie Law School as your first preference. We know from first-hand experience that it's not an easy decision, but hopefully in 12 months' time, you can look back on your choice and be happy with the decision you've made. Thank you.